And I'm now joined here by newly elected Aontu Senator. Sorry, big
Do it myself. I
big
do it
mistake
myself.
there. Sarah O'Reilly. Sarah, you're very welcome to the Irish political roundup. You first were elected onto um, county council in Cavan in 2016, and you were obviously re-elected in 2024, and now you're a senator. So it must be a great feeling to be now here in Linester House.
It is. It's a great feeling, and it's a big surprise for me because I would have thought that the Seanad election was the hardest election of all elections. So I ran it close in the general election in November, and I was really delighted with how I performed in that election because, again, I surprised myself with the huge vote I got. So lots of people were calling me saying, oh, they were so disappointed for me, but I was actually amazed by the vote I did get. Then when I got the opportunity, Father and Aontu, the party, gave me an opportunity to run for the Seanad election. I took it with, I wouldn't pass up an opportunity like that. But like everything else, I suppose I was being realistic about my chances because it's the hardest race of all to run. And surprised myself and everybody, I think, with the result on that. So very happy, very proud, but wouldn't have got this far only for the help of the team in Aontu. Father was on the phone, Luke was on strategy, and I was on the road knocking the doors of councillors.
Absolutely, and you only missed out on Dalsey by 700 votes, I think, in the end. And now you're how are you settling into the role of being a senator? And the elections were only less than a month ago.
Yeah, well, I ran a local election in May or in June last year as well. So when you're running in a local election, you kind of start at Christmas at June. So I've been a full year campaigning. So probably a little bit of exhaustion, but delight and mad to get going at it, but it's a learning curve too. This is all totally new for me, and only really getting settling in with a new office in that last week. So it'll take a little bit of time, but mad to go.
Exactly, and you're an accounting technician by trade. You've worked in agriculture. You worked as a buyer for a large company in Cavan. You're elected on the agriculture committee. I'm sure farmers, rural life, and our fisheries are going to be something that you're going to take a very big interest in during your time as a senator.
Yeah, rural. I'm in a rural constituency, and I suppose rural affairs are what I'll be looking at mostly, and those issues, farming issues, affect us most of all. And I was delighted to get elected onto the agricultural panel, but I'm not on the agricultural committee yet. The committees haven't been set up yet, but I would be hoping to get onto the agricultural committee for sure. Yeah.
And you've been very vocal on a number of issues in the Seanad relating to agriculture. You spoke about the delays in acres payments for farmers.
Yes.
That's having a real impact on farmers' incomes and livelihoods.
It is. There's some farmers that have payments delayed since 2023.
That's madness.
And I don't think it's fair. And the excuses that the farmers are getting don't stack up either. They're told it's maybe something to do with overpayments from before, which has turned out not to be true. And they've been told now that it's an IT glitch. So it's I do wonder if it's a money issue, if the money is there, because there was a huge oversubscription to that scheme. That was a very popular scheme. Yeah, but like farmers have spent the money, they have invested, and long ago, 2023, and they still haven't got a return on that. So that needs to be addressed ASAP.
And we're not talking small amounts that farmers have invested. We're talking significant sums of money that they haven't been reimbursed.
Yeah, well, the rural economy is built on the spending of farmers. I think for every €1 that a farmer spends, it affects the local economy by $2.50.
Right.
So it's they should be looked after, and that's what I hope to do in my time here.
And there was a protest here yesterday between the Natural and Hill Farmers Association. they have issues with the changes in legislation around land, its classification with mineral soils. You actually got an opportunity to speak to the
Yeah.
farmers at the process and hear firsthand. So farmers are getting it hit hard
Yeah, this
everywhere.
was a big shock to the farmers. I think it's only recently that they discovered this, and it's a new policy by the Department of Agriculture, and they're looking for that to be stopped. And I agree with them. It seems to be a sleight of hand, where if somebody has a certain amount of acres that's mineral soil, if it's over 50%, it'll be all taken as mineral soil.
Okay.
But it disproportionately affects farmers in the west of Ireland who maybe have a lot more of the other soil.
Okay, and obviously has impacts for farmers. There's land that has to just be left
Yeah.
go not say
Yeah.
go to waste, but not be used.
There's more restrictions on the land, to do with planning, to do with everything. Yeah, it's not. No, I'm hoping that will get resolved. I'm hoping that the minister takes on board what the Hill Farmers Association is saying and resolves the issue.
And just so back to the beginning, I said you were a councillor from 2016 to 2024. What got you interested in running for politics?
It was really accidentally. In the beginning, I was at home minding my children. I have 4 children, 4 boys, and I think a neighbour across the road who was a county councillor asked me to help her with her campaign.
Okay.
That's the way I got sucked in. I wouldn't have had any interest before that, but I enjoyed it, and she was successful, and I enjoyed helping her, and that's the way I got sucked into it. Yeah, accidentally.
Oh, the accidental politician, you might say.
Yeah,
and
there's no history. Like I have no history of politicians in my family at all. So my parents would have been asking me what was I doing, what was I thinking of.
Yeah, but you've obviously you've been quite successful. You've topped the poll twice, I believe, in local politics, and you just missed out on the Dáil seat by 700 votes. So you'll be hoping 5 years here in the Seanad, you'll be gunning hard to take a seat at the next election.
But I think at home I'm known for my work ethic. If somebody has an issue, I will do everything I can to resolve it, and I think the people locally know that. And if I can't resolve it, it'll not because I wouldn't have done everything I could to do it. So I think that I've a reputation for that, and I think that's what's brought me this far. I love working with people and trying to help them to solve their issues that they might have, and I think that's the really good part of the job. But the really not so good part of the job is many times you're not able to help people the way you would like to.
Absolutely. And your colleague Emer Tobin had a motion on Meath County Council. It was to do with the LGFA, the Lady Gaelic Footballers Association. Of course, you're very much involved in GAA in your own county of Cavan. What's your view on the position of men playing in women's sports?
Well, I would take up the same view as Emer, and Aontu would take up the position that I suppose it's to do with fairness and in sport, especially competitive sport. Women train hard, work hard, but physiologically, if men are to take part in women's sports, the outcome is usually going to be on their side, the men's side. And I don't think it's really got to do with fairness. I don't think it's fair for men to participate, especially in competitive sport. I think it can be dangerous as well if it's contact.
Exactly.
If it's a contact sport, it could be dangerous for women as well.
Because with ladies GAA in particular, you could have a 14, 15-year-old playing on an adult team, potentially.
Yeah, that's mainly where we're coming from. Yeah, it's just about safety for sportswomen and fairness.
Well, Sarah, thanks a million for taking the time to chat with us here on the Irish Political Roundup. Congratulations again on being elected the first Aontu senator here in in the Seanad. So we wish you every success for the rest of the Seanad term.
Thanks very much, and I'm honoured to be elected and to be working in Dail Eireann. It's a fantastic experience for me.
Or Mila
Thank you.